Hello class, Miss Treadaway here. Today I'm going to show you one strategy for annotating poetry while focusing on figurative language. Now remember last week the 4 forms of figurative language we worked on: simile, metaphor, personification, and hyperbole. Well, today we're going to talk about another form, imagery, which I'll explain a little later. But by the end of this lesson, you are all going to be more comfortable with identifying imagery in poetry, and you'll be able to annotate or mark the use of figurative language in a poem. Let's get started, class. So first, we need our supplies. Please, everyone, get out your copy of the poem Sleep by Annie Matheson. Okay, now that we have our literary text, please also take out a highlighter and a pen. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need more time to gather your supplies. Next, we will move on to reading and interacting with our text. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to read the poem to you out loud. Then, we will go back and annotate. Please follow along as I read. Soft silence of the summer night, alive with wistful murmurings, enfold me in thy quiet might. Shake o'er my head thy slumbrous wings, so cool and light. Let me forget all earthly things and sleep tonight. Tired roses, passionately sweet, are leaning on their cool green leaves. The mignonette about my feet a maze of tangled fragrance weaves. Where dewdrops meet, kind sleep the weary world bereaves of noise and heat. White lilies, pure as falling snow, and redolent of tenderness, are gently swaying to and fro, lulled by the breath of evening less than by the low music of sleepy winds that bless the buds that grow. The air is like a mother's hand laid softly on a throbbing brow, and o'er the darksome, dewy land the peace of heaven is stealing now, while hand in hand young angels tell the flowers how their lives are planned. From yon deep sky, the quiet stars look down with steadfast eloquence, and God the prison door unbars that held the mute world's inmost sense from all the wars of days, loud, fury, and turbulence, and nothing now the silence mars of love intense. Okay, now that we've read the poem once through for meaning, let's go back and read it together, this time analyzing it. Today we're going to focus on figurative language. As I said, we'll focus specifically on imagery. Now, imagery is any language that is especially descriptive. Often it goes beyond just visual descriptions and incorporates the senses, telling the reader how things feel and how they sound. I like to say that imagery helps paint a picture for the reader. All right, let's take out our highlighters and start at the beginning. First on your paper, you'll see the first stanza or paragraph. Let's begin there. Soft silence of the summer night. That sounds pretty descriptive to me. I'm going to highlight soft silence to mark the imagery there. So go ahead and highlight it on your copy as well. Soft silence. This uses auditory imagery, calling the silence of the night soft. Can't you just feel how calm that soft silence must be? Let's continue reading. Alive with wistful murmurings, enfold me in thy quiet might. Shake o'er my head thy slumbrous wings, so cool and light. Here, I'm going to highlight wistful murmurings. So go ahead and highlight that. And I'm also going to highlight so cool and light. I can really hear those voices murmuring or whispering in the background. Can't you? And those wings feel cool and light around me. Let's continue reading. Let me forget all earthly things and sleep tonight. Tired roses, passionately sweet, are leaning on their cool green leaves. So here I'm going to pause because I'd like to highlight both roses, passionately sweet, so go ahead and highlight that, as well as cool green leaves. So please highlight that with me. Describing the roses here as passionately sweet just makes me think of the sweet scent of roses in the air. Can't you just smell them? And the cool green leaves makes me think of how fresh the leaves are in the spring. All right, are we ready to finish out our last stanza? Let's keep going. The mignonette about my feet, a maze of tangled fragrance weaves. Where dewdrops meet, kind sleep and weary world bereaves of noise and heat. In these final lines of the first stanza, I would like to highlight tangled fragrance weaves and noise and heat. So tangled fragrance weaves and noise and heat. The tangled fragrance weaves makes me think of many fragrances weaving together. You can just smell all of them and they're in the air and they're all coming together to make this unique smell, and it's strong and it's fragrant. And then we can feel the silence and this lack of heat when it says bereaves of noise and heat. And doesn't that just feel so peaceful? And doesn't it just make you want to sleep, as the poem is about sleep? You have silence and it's a little bit chilly, so you snuggle up in your blanket and there's nice fragrances in the air. Doesn't that imagery just create a more full experience of sleep for you? I know it does for me. Well, there you have it, the imagery we see in stanza 1 of Sleep by Annie Matheson. Now you have an idea of what annotating poetry can look like. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Have a wonderful day.